Good afternoon, race fans. Welcome in to the place to be on Sunday afternoon. This is Inters Racing League, Tier 1, Round 1, Season 5. We are tucked away in Sky Race Control here in the warm, sandy skies of Bahrain to witness the finest calibre of drivers we have on offer. We're all ready to battle it out on track, looking to get off to a flying start as they push for championship glory at the end of this 20-race calendar season. The man they are all chasing down is, of course, our back-to-back Tier 1 champion, Prince, who was taken with the first overall pick by Aston Martin's team principal, Griddo. We will take you through all 20 drivers and their new teams, but first I must introduce the podium-placing debut Ferrari horse-prancing driver who gave the most joy-filled interview yesterday after picking up P2, the master on the F1 mic, my best mate, the one and only Marty B. Get in, my brother. High fives. Woo! Here we are again. Inters Racing League, Tier 1. How are you, my mate?
I'm good, man. I'm still fizzing. Bryce, I'm still fizzing from that, man. It's so good to see the prancing horse on the podium. How good was that, eh? Strategy to a T. That safety car absolutely timed perfectly for me. Mate, what a result to start the season, eh?
Oh, bloody brilliant, mate. Couldn't have happened to a better bloke out there, no doubt about it. As you said, good to see Ferrari up there getting a bunch of points. And, when things just come together, that's the results you kind of get. So credit paid off your hard work. And, congratulations on your first podium for the season. Great start. And you're off chasing after that championship in Tier 2, mate.
Absolutely. I think it's a bit of a far stretch for me to really start thinking about championships. It's a nice dream, but like you say, man, if we manifest that sort of stuff together and just really think about it and aim for it, then you never know what's going to be possible. I look forward to the next few races, so we'll just see what happens.
Like Prince says, the first part, I think Prince says this, but I definitely say it anyway. The first part is you have to believe it. If you don't believe you can actually win it and get out there, it's not going to happen. So, look, I just want to congratulate ISO Skits, who actually won the race in Tier 2 last night in the Alpha Tauri. It's a great drive. I think it was from about position 12 or something like that on the grid, so fantastic. And, of course, Deadly Fuller in Tier 3 on Friday night, opening up that round there. So I'll just run you through the reserves for Tier 1 tonight. We've already got some cars going out. We've got a full grid, of course. You will recognise a lot of drivers from last season. We do have some missing. So in the Haas tonight, we have Extinct Body, and he's replacing I'm a Noob. In the McLaren, we have T8, who is reserving. He'll be replacing Duels. In the Ferrari, we're missing G-Force, and Daddy Darkness is replacing him. And in the AlphaTauri, we're missing Brocco tonight, and replacing him is Riley McKay. Riley was on the Mercedes last season, and I think he was maybe 6th overall, so he's got plenty of pace out there. Who are you on board with at the moment, Marty B?
Just sitting broadcast view for Karama, who's just doing his first hot lap in the Alfa Romeo. So I imagine he's going to put the benchmark time on the board. Just looking down the list, Broseph, where's Prince? I can't see Prince.
Oh, he's actually running. Yeah, he's running from his brother's account. So he'll be running Seb in the Aston Martin P7 at the moment. Yep. So that's his brother's.
Right.
Yep.
I did wonder that, but I just thought, is my brain messing with me, or is that the real thing? So yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So for all the viewers out there, yep, Seb is actually Prince. So Seb K21 will be Prince, our reigning champion. And it's a bit weird to see him in a different colour car. Obviously, we've seen him in the Red Bull the past couple of seasons. But tonight he's in the green machine. So let's just see if he can, put it on display again, Marty.
Absolutely. I reckon he will. Let's be honest. Back-to-back he's been so far. Let's see if he can go back-to-back-to-back. Karama pops up a 29.3. That's not a bad lap from Karama. I expect him to get a wee bit lower as the track evolution does start coming on. But just quickly, I am running a bit of an app on my computer, so I do have a few more bits of information out there. So for all of you listening, hear me fumbling over some data. I'll try and get it out to you as best I can, and I'll just try and read it. This is my first time, so bear with me. It's a whole bunch of numbers and colours, and it looks like a little rainbow, so that's good. We'll see how that goes.
Now, you did just mention Karama. Of course, he's in the Alfa Romeo, and of course, in real life, the Alfa Romeo doing really well in the Hungarian Grand Prix. But we've got Sildefort and, of course, Karama both in the Alfa Romeo. Karama is the team principal this season. Looking to do a fantastic job out there today. I'm just on board with Prince coming around the final turn 15, and Prince will go second overall with a 1:28.7, right behind Riley McKay in the AlphaTauri with a 1:28 flat. So very good time from Riley there for a banker.
That's not a bad banker, all right. 28 flat, with Prince coming in 7/10 down the road. The Alfa Romeo is fantastic, third and fourth at the moment. Rip sitting in fifth. A lot of cars haven't put any times on the board just yet, but it looks like a few of them are on some hot laps at the moment. Crispy still sitting in the pit lane, so is Scotty. Who else has just popped a time? Maddie, not bad for the McLaren. Expect a little bit quicker from Maddie, to be honest. Verk's very fast. Who's your pick for this race, Broseph? Who do you reckon? Top five. Give us your top five. What do you reckon?
Top five. Probably Prince, Tyler. I'm going to go with Crispy, and I'm going to put KLX in there and Verk. How many is that? Is that 4?
That's 4.
And the fifth. Let's go with.
It's got to be Aussie, isn't it? Did you say Aussie? Aussie 2K?
No, I didn't say Aussie. No, it's jeez, it's just really pulling fish out of the barrel here. So
yeah,
let's go with Karama. I say Karama's going to get points for being team principal tonight. I'll just run you through the teams quickly. We've got the new Tier 1 lineup. So for Mercedes, we've got the team principal. For Mercedes is Verk. Very, very strong driver, and he drafted NZ Thompson, formerly known as Tomo, who was driving with AlphaTauri last season. So great pairing there in the Mercedes. In the McLaren, we've got Matty AU and Dools, of course, in Tier 1. So Matty AU stepped up from Tier 2 last season. Very strong driver. Pretty sure he's taken a few assists off as well, so that's got him even quicker going into F1 23. And I think Matty AU will be happy with the top 10 finish tonight from what I'm hearing. We have Tyler. Of course, Tyler finished in the top 5 last season. Outstanding season he had in the Red Bull, but he's in the Alpine this evening. He was drafted by Ads, who's the TP, and Ice Iron Rhino will be his teammate. Very quick driver as well, we know pretty well. In the AlphaTauri, we've got Broccolilli, who's being replaced tonight, of course, by Riley, and we've got Rip the Beans, who we know very well to be a very quick driver. Team Haas, Gordo drafted I'm a Noob and Gillard in those 2 places. I'm a Noob, very quick driver, and Gillard stepping up as well for Tier 1 this season. Good luck to him. In the Red Bull, of course, Scotty the man, the main commentator and one of the best drivers we've got in Tier 1. Pretty sure Scotty, where did he finish last season? Scotty finished 6th overall with 140 points. So he likes to, go under the radar, but Scotty's definitely one of the cleanest drivers and one of the best drivers we've got. So he'll be teaming up with Jacko, and he actually drafted Jacko number 3 overall in the draft, which was a bit of a surprise. But if Jacko can match Scotty's expectations, then that'll pay off, I'm sure. Of course, we've got Prince in the Aston Martin with Brian Bromley. Brian Bromley probably wanted to be in Tier 2, but his good mate Greedo put him in Tier 1, and that's where he is, so he'll just have to pick up his standard. And Brian as well has taken off some assists, so that will have him even quicker this season. Of course, in the mighty Ferrari, the father of motorsport, Crispy is the number 1 driver tonight. G-Force is missing and being replaced by Daddy Darkness, who we know from many other leagues is very, very quick and fits in very well at this big boys table here. I did go over Alfa Romeo, but I'll do it again. Karama is the TP, and Silderford, of course, as we know, AMS Kong last season in the Ferrari. Very quick driver. And the Williams, you can't go past Aussie 2K GOAT, who won the Tier 2 championship last season, Season 4 for Williams. So he's backing up again as the team principal. And he drafted KLX, gave away a bunch of draft picks to draft KLX number 2 overall. Marty B, that's the lineup. Let me know what's been going on the grid since I've been yapping away.
Mate, not a huge amount. Look, I'm just looking over this data here. I can tell you that there are actually 3 drivers only running no assists, and I can tell you who they are as well. It is Silderfort. It is telling me Tomo is running assists, but that doesn't seem right. It's actually just changed it up. Good on your data. It looks like Silderfort and... Oh, there's a Red Bull. It has just changed as I've said that. I think Tyler is running no assists, I feel. But it has just gone and refreshed itself, and now it's not the same as it was. So I'll come back to you on that. It's interesting to know who's running assists and who is not. Especially around here, some of those lower speed corners, Bros, if they they don't agree with the no traction control as much. You've got to be so careful on the throttle as you're exiting. Certainly turn 1, because that's where you want to get the power down through turn 2 and turn 3 up to that DRS zone heading towards turn 4 in the middle sector. You really have to just squeeze it. And I know Nick Thompson, I know he is very careful and very fast without that traction control. And I believe he's not using ABS brakes as well. Yet to be corrected on that. Once my data updates itself, I will come back to you as well. But it's good to see these guys really sort of opening up and just trying it, because on this game, of course, like we know, it is a little bit easier than it was last time to have no traction control, because they used to just once you got a snap, that was the end of it, and that was you're in the wall. But now, thankfully, thanks Codemasters, that's a positive for Codies. We normally do a shout out for a terrible game, but I think that's one of the most positive things they've done in this game, is make the car a lot more manageable on the exits and just a lot more manageable in general.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. We've just seen Rip the Beans just go around and put a second lap in. He put a 1:28.9, so he's down in the 1:28s and put himself up in a P4. Very good time from Rip the Beans there. So we're just going down. We're having a look at a few other drivers just coming through. Looks like a couple of Ferraris just coming out. Daddy Darkness is coming out of pit. We've got Crispy going around. Looks like he's just going out maybe on an out lap there. See if anyone's coming around here. Finishing a couple of laps. Scotty might be...
I thought Scotty, now he's just popped into the pits. Yeah, I thought he was going to be on a hot lap there, but he's not.
So we've got Matty AU actually going around. He's going around turn 12 at the moment, coming into 13 in that beautiful looking... And he's put a purple second sector in, Matty, as he comes around 13 there. Down the back straight, following the AlphaTauri in front of him. Let's have a look. You want to
14 and 15.
Get on the throttle at the perfect time through 14 and 15. Looks like he's squared that one up nicely. Opens up the back wing.
Oh, that's not bad. P9 for Matty.
Yeah, 29.5. I think he'd be pretty happy with that, putting himself up inside the top 10, Marty B.
Yeah, not a bad lap at all, 29.5. Shout out to the McLarens. Look, everybody's actually covered by, apart from the 7/10ths between first and second, it's not really covered by a huge amount. It's covered by about a second down to P13. Down to P13, 14. Down to P14 is covered by 1 second. So that's pretty close. That's pretty competitive.
Let me, I'll just give you a bit of insight from yesterday. During qualifying, from P2 down to P13 was covered by 2/10ths. That's how close the Tier 2 was at one point. Yep, from P2 to P13 was 2/10ths. Amazing. Now I'm on board.
Fantastic.
I'm on board Prince at the moment. Coming around the final turn, stays inside the white lines. Can he go? No, he's actually going to pull into pit lane. So he's still 7/10ths behind Riley, which seems pretty surprising to me, Marty.
It does. It does seem a bit weird. Is he sandbagging, maybe, or I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is. That is a bit strange. Not many minutes left in the session. Do you think it's about time?
I reckon it is. Who have you got your eye on?
Well, I'll tell you what. I've gone with Nick Thompson sitting in P5 in the Mercedes. Just coming around the final turn 13 now towards the start-finish line. He has got a bucket full of battery. I reckon we do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So for the second time in one weekend, I'm pretty sure everybody knows what time it is. It is time to buckle up and neck up your Pelicans, because we're going to go for a hot lap on board. No, we're not even. He's pulling into the pits. He's just messing with me. He's just messing.
Wow.
He is messing. I'm going to have to message him about that.
Daddy Darkness looks like he's coming across the line and puts himself up in a P6 with a 1:29.1. So that's pretty good from Daddy Darkness, who's on reserve tonight in the Ferrari. Puts himself up into the top 6. I'm on board with Verk, who looks like he might be on a... No. They're messing with us, bro. So they're just messing with us. I see Karama's on an outlap, but he's just at this. He's in the second sector of his outlap. No one else seems to be on an outlap, so they must all be jumping in the pit lane, I reckon, to strap on a new pair of shoes. What do you got? Oh, no. Another false alarm. We've got looks like a Haas. Yep, Haas coming into pit lane.
It looks like it's the two Alfa Romeos going for an outlap.
Okay.
I mean, we've got Karama down in P9. Maybe we could try Sezzy's on an outlap. So unless he's messing with me again, should we try this time?
Yeah, I think Karama's on for it. Let's go with the Croissant Crusader.
The Croissant Crusader, he is just slowing down a wee bit. He'll be flicking that into hot lap mode around turns 14 and 15. All right, so let's try this again. So, as you know, it is time to buckle up and neck up your Pelicans. It's a second hot lap in one weekend with Marty Beeser down the main straight. We go. It's such a long run down here, bro. So such a long run down to turn 1. You're braking around about 120 odd meters into turn 1. Just goes a little bit deep. You've got to touch that curb if you can, but it's not the most important. A little bit of a squiggle in the rear of the car there as well, and it looks like he's actually pulled out of that lap. So that is two's a charm.
I tell you, yeah, it's turn 2 and 3, even turn 1. You're exactly right. That braking point into turn 1. If you mess that up, if you go a bit early, you're going to lose between 2 and 3 tenths coming out of turn 2 and turn 3. Even if you don't square that one up right, you're going to lose a bit of time. And yeah, on my last lap yesterday, that's exactly what I did. I stuffed up braking point coming into turn 1 and just ruined my whole lap. So that's exactly what we saw with Karama. Have you spotted anyone else who looks like they might be warming up for a hot lap? I can see an AlphaTauri coming in towards 14, 15 at the moment.
Who would that be? That would be into turn 13, 14. No, that'll be...
It's Rip.
It'll be Rip. He is just... Is he starting his hot lap? All right, well, let's go with Rip. I don't need to do the intro because I've just done it twice. So let's go down into turn 1 and see how we can get on with this one as Daddy Darkness pulls out. But that is Rip touching the curb there. Absolutely wonderful on the power. Nice and early across that curb, turn 2, in through turn 3, course where Roman Grosjean had the big fireball there on the right-hand side under the Rolex sign towards turn 4, coming into the second sector. Use all of the curb and nice and tight. You want it nice and tight there. That's beautiful. This is a banger from Rip. All of the curb on the exit. Now coming in here, you just got about where that curb is. Where the car is straight is where you're braking. Now it's flat out through here. If it's not, you've done it wrong. Down into the hairpin of turn number 8. Down through the gears to third should be the short shift. There it is on the power. Stay on the black stuff as you come down through 9. This is 10 where the DRS starts. Now take it a little bit wide. Square the car up as best you can and just get that turn in. It does dip away from you there a wee bit, so you could lock the left-hand inside wheel, but down the DRS will be open now in towards the end of the second sector. Turn 11. This is a wee bit of a sketchy corner if you get it wrong, but he just touches the curb on the power. You've got to be so aggressive on the power, as is Rip in the AlphaTauri. This is looking fantastic. Round the high speed of 12 into fourth gear-ish. You should be around here for the rotation into fifth. Stay away from that curb on the left because there's a bump at the end that will unsettle the car as the car moves out of the way in front down towards the final couple of turns under the Pirelli sign. This isn't a bad one. I haven't been looking at the split seconds though, but it could be pretty good from Rip on the power. Like a mule. That is fantastic. Flicks the DRS open and across the line goes Rip into P4 with a 28.876, and that is a Marty B hot lap.
Oh, Rip the effing beans. Well done there. That was a mad hot lap. Great
that
call
was a
too,
banger.
Marty B. Shout out to Stainsy. Up into P4, so just consolidates that position there and pulls over to let the cars go by him. Looks like the Alpine is getting a bit of a run on there. It looks like that may have been Tyler actually going through, so Tyler's on his hot lap. Just going through turn 4 at the moment, coming through 5, tricky section here, and then through 6 and 7. Nice there.
Who are you on board with?
Tyler, just coming into the hairpin now of 8. And you want to make sure, yeah, nice and square. Got that car beautifully lined up as he enters 9 on the curb into 10. Nice and smooth through here. Want to get a nice exit. Very nice there from Tyler. Down the back straight. No one to really get a bit of drag from, but that's all right. Don't think he's going to need it. I reckon if Tyler can put this one together, he might just push himself up into the top 5, I'd say. Around 11, as you said, Marty.
So aggressive on that power, isn't he? So aggressive at the end of the second sector. He is... a tenth and a half up.
He's getting great response from it, though. He really is. Looks like it's settling nice onto the curbs, on the exit of corners.
This could be a top 5.
13. Yep, down the back straight. 2 corners to go now. Let's have a look. Oh, nice apex hit.
Oh,
beautiful there, away from the curbs. Saves as much time as possible, and Tyler puts himself up into P7.
That's not bad.
29 flat. That's not bad at all. So Rylam has actually gone quicker. Again, he's gone to 27.9. And KLX has put himself up in a P2.
Prince is P3.
Yep. And that's pretty much quali over. That is.
That's interesting. I didn't see that coming. I thought Prince would have actually had the pole on this one, but that's okay. I mean, we know Prince is a long haul. He's in it for the long run, and he will just save those tyres. Very, very good at saving tyres as Prince. Sorry, just bear with me while I go through these results, Broseph. Just
yeah, not a problem. Mate.
Waffle on a wee bit if you can.
Yep. So yeah, we had KLX in P2, and he was just, what was it, about a tenth and a half in front of Prince there, and Rip another tenth and a half behind then. So it was pretty quick between second and fourth. But yeah, I mean, Riley was definitely a bit of a standout there in number one overall, breaking into the 127. So I reckon there might be a bit of an investigation going in maybe a bit later. But Silderfort in P5 in the Alfa Romeo, Nick Thompson P6, great effort from him in the Mercedes. Karama, the team principal there for Alfa Romeo, so two of those guys, I believe, in the top 7. Outstanding job there. Just waiting on the rest of the results to come through to give you the top 10, but that was qualifying for Tier 1, Round 1 Bahrain Inters Racing League. Let's just hope the boys can get off to a pretty clean start and just hold position there. We saw a bit of a scrappy start in Tier 3, and there is no formation lap. Pretty sure our new admin, Tyler, has been all over that and informed all of our drivers that there is no formation lap. We did see, unfortunately, Powers in Tier 3 in the Red Bull, I believe, secured pole and did a bit of swerving off the line thinking there was a formation lap and got a bit swallowed up there and probably would have won the race if it wasn't for that. But, yeah, so that's what we have to expect. No formation lap and the guys straight into it. Of course, there is a bit of a glitch with this game. We're waiting for the patch to come through and fix that one up. Yeah,
of course, there's a little bit of an issue on Friday night, wasn't it, with Tier 3, where we saw, even us commentators got a wee bit caught out by that one. There was a few cars weaving right at the start, so take us away, Bryce, take us away. This one's all yours, mate.
All right, just got to bring my... all right, we've got 5 lights, and we are off and racing. It looks like Seppi actually got a pretty good start. It's actually Prince. Let's just get on there with... I'm on board with KLX, and it looks like Prince has actually gone the outside of KLX on the Williams. Riley's got a pretty good start, and yep, Prince is pushing it, but KLX looks like he's going to take it on the inside. Prince is still pushing on the outside as they go up into turn 4. Looks like Rip the Benz has got a pretty solid start there. Silderfort behind him in P5 and his teammate in P6. He goes a little bit wide into 4, but looks like they just fall in position there. So not many changes up the front here, Marty. Pretty placid. By the back, it looks like Verk's gone up a couple, and Brian Bromley, what are you seeing in the middle of the pack there?
Oh, not a huge amount, mate. They're actually very well. There's a collision as we say that.
It looks like maybe Karama or Silderfort possibly turning Rip there. Maybe Silderfort turning Rip, unfortunately. Yep. And we've got a safety car.
No, virtual. So, we have a virtual safety car, thankfully. Yeah, so by the time the cars get around, the marshals should be able to clear that up pretty well. I think there's just a whole bunch of carbon fibre. It doesn't look like anybody DNF'd, so let's just thank our lucky stars. That was doing so well until turn 8 there. Was it on the exit of 7? I didn't
exit
really...
Exit of 7, correct.
Exit of 7 somewhere.
Entering into 7. I think there was just a little bit of a, car park there, and maybe Silderfort couldn't pull it up in time. I don't want to, this is just all speculation. It just looked like those were the cars following into that corner, and of course, just first lap nerves. Hopefully Rip can serve that 5-second penalty or get it. Look, he's going to have to serve it, unfortunately. That really sucks for him. Matty AU looks like he's picked up a 5-second penalty for not taking care of yellow flag, so I don't know where that one came from. But
we've got to take care of yellow flags. Got to take care of the marshals. So
it's Karama and Silderfort both in the pits. The Alfa Romeos both in the pits. So not a great start from those two, although they were P5 and P6 at the beginning. So yeah, not the best start. And Scotty is also in the pits in the Red Bull. Did you see what happened to Scotty there, Marty?
I did not. Scotty's got onto the fresh hard, so there is 5 cars currently in the pit lane as we are back under racing conditions. So let's just see if they can fall into place a wee bit, just calm those nerves and just get their heads down and just make sure that they're staying on the black stuff to begin with and not collecting their mates around them. As Aussie 2K goes wide, very wide at turn 7. So I imagine we've seen a few warnings so far, but we'll see.
we are off and racing again. We did yesterday in Tier 2, we had a bit of an incident, and I ended up doing 25 laps on mediums. So those guys who have just gone on the hards now, they probably will be able to bring those home, I'd say.
I don't even know how many I did on hards.
Gillard into turn 11. Gets the job done on the inside of Matty Ayew. Matty Ayew lets him go there, so Gillard looks like just to take advantage of maybe the fresher tyres. Let's have a look here.
Both on one lap mids.
Okay.
Matty was the penalty.
Bit of a better run there.
Yeah, now, I reckon some of these guys, it's sort of a hit and miss track with, you can run high downforce through that middle sector, and it really, really works for you. But down the straight, Bryce, if you just get swallowed up, so I can't remember what I ran last night, but it was relatively quick in a straight line.
Sorry, Verk's just taken Aussie 2-Goat on the inside, up the home straight there, up into P7. Aussie lets him go, but he's going to go for the switchback, Marty. Oh, a little bit unsettling there.
I see Nick Thompson.
One, but gets a very good run.
Nick Thompson just got Tyler as well. Coming through, that was about turn 2 or 3. Oh, Tyler's going to fight this one back. But he's not going to he's going to go for the switchback. Having a look over the rear wing of the Mercedes of Nick Thompson, P5. Next up the road is Brian Brumley. He is just trying his absolute hardest round 8. And in front of Nick Thompson, I'll tell you what, that's Brian Brumley. He seems to be a bit of a boat at the moment. That is an Aston boat. He must be running very high downforce, I reckon, because he's going to get swallowed up. You watch lap 3 DRS. He is going to get swallowed up by Nick Thompson. If not here, it'll be down the main straight. So we're just going to sit and watch this battle just for a moment. What can you see a bit further down?
Oh, look, I can see Gillard, Crispy having a little bit of a battle there, but nothing too serious. I see that KLX is staying in the DRS of Riley McKay in P1, so KLX doing pretty well. There's a 2.5 gap from P2 to P3. That's KLX to Prince. So Prince just falling off a little there, and Brian Bromley's got a 5-second gap behind Prince in P4, but those are the two Aston Martins in P3 and 4 at the moment. As you said, Nick Thompson looks like he might be...
Almost gets reared by Tyler. Almost gets done. Look at that train. Look at it. That looks like a tail on a unicorn.
Look at Verk. The Mercedes.
Look at the Mercedes. That is a rocket ship. Look at Nick Thompson gets past, makes the move, gets it done.
No. I thought Verk was going to go the double up on the inside of Brian, but he thought better of it.
That was
great
amazing
from these guys. Brian gets a good run on Tomo. Tomo's trying to break that toe. Let's have a look. He's going to hog the inside, and will Brian send it?
No. Good defence there.
Tomo
good defence from Tomo. He's almost pushing him around.
He is.
Yeah, I mean, we know Tomo's very, very good at saving his battery. Brian, there's a lot of battery. Actually, across the board, there's a lot of battery. These guys are so good on that button. They just don't get too greedy too early. So we're going to see. Next up the road for Nick Thompson is Seb. And a bit further down, that's just a massive DRS train all the way down to P14 with Matty Ayew and T8 unit. A bit of a train forming behind him. Of course, he was one of the cars that boxed earlier.
Oh, Gillard and Crispy are really having a battle. Crispy on the outside of turn 10 gets the job done on the Haas. So the Ferrari just a bit better balance there on the curbs out of the exit. So shout out to Crispy's setup. No doubt about it, Crispy. I enjoyed that one yesterday. So thank you very much. So that's a battle for P12 at the moment. There's quite a few cars around there. Jacko as well in P10 putting a lot of pressure on Aussie 2K Goat as he goes around turn 13 on the back of the Williams gearbox there.
He's going to wait. He's going to wait for DRS, surely.
He's going to want to impress Scotty, who took him P3 overall. So let's have a look here on the back of the Williams. Jacko needs to get a nice exit. He's got plenty of ERS if he needs to.
Look at that slipstream. Look at the speed. Yeah. Oh, he's having a bit of a burn. He's just touching it a wee bit.
Aussie lets him go.
He does get that pulled up into turn 1. Oh, the bit of contact.
Aussie's timed that really nicely just to stay on the back of Jacko and might get this one back as they go into turn 4, Marty. Let's just keep on board with Aussie 2K Goat at the moment.
Oh, Steady Duck just takes a big dive down the inside of Tyler. Oh, is he going to get it done? He's going to be on the inside for turn 6, I think that is. And then he's going to have to stick around the outside at 7. Oh, they're both side by side. This is absolutely almost well banging it down to 8. He's going to have the inside for 8, but the outside for 9 and 10. He leaves him plenty of space. Look at the sight of that Alpine.
Side by side. Who's going to give way here?
Oh, it's going to be Tyler's corner. It's got to be.
Oh, wow.
Oh, they're not giving anybody
brilliant driving,
any room.
Oh, the Ferrari. Look at that exit. Well done from Daddy Darkness, just holding that line on the outside. Because, of course, on the outside at 9 and 10, if you get caught on that curb, it is good night, 50-50 grind all the way down. See you later. Great driving from those two. What a demonstration.
You get signed by Tony Hawk if you grind that rail too many times, I think, Broseph. You'll end up on the DC shoe tour in America doing some bowl skating, I think. KLX, let me tell you, KLX down the main straight in that Williams is just going to be moving past Riley in the Alpha. Riley, unfortunately, sadly, is just a sitting duck there. So KLX with the pace and the DRS, of course, up through 2 and 3 into the second DRS zone. He's just going to have to keep that car in front. Good exit. Great exit there. But Riley gets the DRS as well.
You know what?
But he's just going to defend.
KLX is championship dreaming right now. He's second place to Prince over the last 2 seasons. KLX, head steward, outstanding member of Inters Racing League, and one of the finest, most enjoyable drivers to watch on track. There's no doubt about it. He gets it right 99% of the time, this man. And Riley's doing everything he can to stick with him. Lost a few tenths there.
Tyler's got Daddy Darkness back. He's got him back. Squiggle there from Daddy Darkness in turn 7, I think that was. He's going to get swallowed up actually by Jacko.
He got him. Yeah. So Jacko made the most of that little squiggle there.
Crispy, I think Crispy and 2K, they're going at it as well. This is fantastic racing. This is just side by side, but plenty of room racing. This is fantastic to watch.
There's no doubt about it. And the thing is, a lot of these drivers who have moved up from Tier 2 to Tier 1 from last season, they probably go into this race with the belief that they don't really belong. But I can tell you right now, the likes of Crispy, Matty AU, Brian Bromley, I mean, they're really showing out in Tier 1 today. So hats off to those guys. Great start. 6.5 laps into it. Let's go, boys.
Let's go. Just sitting with Jacob at the moment.
3 second time penalty. Sorry, Marty.
That's okay. Silver Fort. Where is that? I see down the bottom there. Oh, ouch. That is just rubbing salt into the wound, unfortunately, for that man. Hopefully he just keeps his head down, keeps on going, because you never know. You never know what could happen. This is a long race. We're only on lap 7, so we've got 23, 24 to go. Down to turn 1. Jaco gets Tyler. That thing's a rocket ship.
Yeah, Jaco's a man possessed at the moment. He really is. I think he's... Let's have a look at these. He had a bit of a squiggle out of 2, and it looks like Tyler may have had the door opened up for him coming into turn 4, but I don't know.
He takes a massive lunge. He's going to have a look around the outside. What's going to happen?
Jeez, I tell you,
no,
Tyler
he's just hanging on.
And Jacko actually hits the curb, gets very unbalanced. Tyler's going to fake him to the outside. No, he's just going to hold position and just see what happens with Jacko. Yeah, very nicely. Good composure there from Tyler and Jacko.
Yeah, you imagine he's going to get him here, though.
Top 5. So, yep.
He's going to get him here with the DRS.
I don't know.
Or maybe not, actually.
Exit.
He did.
Tyler.
Luckily, DRS there for Jacko.
Gillard actually has just taken Daddy Darkness, so Gillard moves up into P9. Gillard, of course, moving up from Tier 2 last season. So he's doing fantastically in that Haas in P9. That's another of those Tier 2 drivers moving up. Ice Iron Rhino as well. He was well known on Tier 2 grid, and he's moved up.
Yeah,
Crispy
Tyler
looks like he's going to get the move done on Ice Iron Rhino. Sorry to cut you off there, Brian. Going into turn 13, out of 13 into 14, gets the move done.
That's not the right move, because then Ice Iron Rhino is going to get the DRS behind him. Is he? Yes, he is. That was a little bit silly from Crispy. I would have thought better on, but he still gets DRS anyway from the car in front of him. Sorry, 8 tenths. I thought he was beyond a second, but Jacko and Tyler, they are going hammer. And Tyler's a big oversteer from Tyler. That was a rare brake lock. He just managed to hang on to that, by crikey. DRS full in the Jacko Red Bull. Tries to go to the outside. He wants the inside for the next turn. Or he's going to go for the switchback. He's almost pushing him around that corner. Squiggle there from Tyler again. Those meds might be going off. I did find last night my meds did 8 to 9 laps and they started going off. So this might actually be the time where if there's a safety car, that's going to be hards to the end.
Yeah, my meds didn't go off till about lap 17, so I may have just had a bit better tread on those meds. But
yeah, I was using using Firestone. You see, that's why.
There you go. It's a fantastic train from Tyler down to, what is that, P12 there, so 7 to 12. Yeah, just a fantastic bunch of racing going on between these guys. Of course, 8.5 laps into it. This is Tier 1 Inters Racing League. KLX in the Williams, out in front. Aussie 2K Goat will be happy to see his number one driver in the number one position. Aussie 2K Goat down in 18 at the moment, so he's boxed. He's got the hard laps on, and he's going to go to the end on those. Riley's in P2 in the AlphaTauri, so that'll be keeping Staines. He was returned to Inters Racing League. Shout out to Staines. He's the new team principal for AlphaTauri. He's going to have a look on the inside of turn one. Going for the lead of this race, actually takes it, but KLX gets it back going into turn two and out of three, a little bit squiggly there for the Williams. The AlphaTauri is going to come back with the DRS and get this move done on the inside quite comfortably, you'd think there, Marty.
Yeah, do you know what's bad about this, or what's good for one, bad for some, is with Riley and KLX actually battling, that's going to bring Prince back into the fight. Yeah, Prince actually just gained 4/10 just in those couple of turns. Because these guys are scrapping, they need to sort it out. And I don't know whether one needs to just follow the other for a little bit, maybe save a little bit of battery and just calm down, because all that's going to happen now, 6/10, 7/10 Prince is gaining, and he's just going to swallow them up. I bet he's going to be licking his chops. What can you see?
Riley was sliding for the fans, and of course Marty B is predicting forecast of purple rain later on in Bahrain, so let's stick around and see if that comes to fruition. Riley McKay got very sideways out of turn 10. It was a magnificent bit of drifting for the fans, as Alan Santa would say. KLX following nice and closely, turn 13. Takes a very interesting line, nice tight line through there. Sorry, that was 12, 13 now. Just following him nicely, about 5/10 behind there, so we should get a good run out of 15, you'd say, Marty. Let's have a look a bit further down. Looks like a few cars have spread out a bit. I think Nick Thompson and Verk will be very, very happy sitting in P4 and P5. Those two teammates sitting there, just using the DRS for each other to extend their lead on Brian Bromley down in P6. So the Mercedes, you've got to say, racking up some very good points so far if they can keep those two cars there, Marty.
Yeah, look, we're just going to have to keep an eye on that gap. Brian Bromley's actually just gained a couple of tenths since you've been saying that on Verk. Now, I know they're teammates, but if Verk is quicker than Nick Thompson, he needs to let him go. He needs to get back in front and just try and drag him. Nick Thompson, he's gained about a tenth or so on Seb. Seb seems to be dropping back a little bit. Seb Prince seems to be dropping back a bit from KLX, 4.2. Those gaps in the top five, Broseph, we're just going to have to keep an eye on and just see what is happening as we look a bit further down. T8. Daddy Darkness, actually, in the Ferrari, has pulled the pin and has gone onto the hards. That'll be till the end, I reckon. So he is the first of the runners to go into the box. That's going to be interesting.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. I think we had Aussie 2K Goat box just a couple of laps ago for those hards, but you're right. You're right. So
just actually having a look at the top speed of some of these guys. Sorry, what can you see?
Oh, just Jacko and Tyler still battling at it out of turn 10.
We're on that. Streamer's having a good hard look at it. Like a perving uncle having a good hard look at these two fighting together. Just quickly, just having a look at the stats here. The top speed of Verk in the Mercedes is 337 kilometres an hour. Tomahawk is only 323 max down the main straight. Ooh. So I reckon Verk's actually got the pace. He has dropped back a wee bit, but he's just sitting in that DRS probably actually quite easily looking at that stat. So I wonder whether team orders might come into play. Nick Thompson, he's actually gained a few tenths as well on Prince. Prince has dropped down another couple, so I'm not sure what's happening here, but KLX is hanging on to Riley quite well, sitting in the DRS line there. So give it another couple of laps to some of these boys, I reckon it's going to be box. What do you reckon?
Yeah, look, of course, if there's a safety car, you'll see all of these cars dive in and change their tyres, but yeah, you're right, it's going to come down to strategy if there is no safety car, and of course, normally when the first one goes, the dominoes fall, so Riley will probably, set the benchmark here for when these guys are going to come in. But of course, you could see an undercut. There's no doubt about it. You see Seb's 4.5 seconds behind. He could try and nab a few seconds off those front runners. Maybe Brian Bromley could think about that. So there's some options for those medium runners from P1 to P13 to see if they can throw something up in the mix.
Yeah, and just going back to that gap between Brian Bromley and Verk, Brian Bromley's actually dropped down a fair amount just in the meantime, so I think it is safe to say that Nick Thompson does actually have the pace to get away from Brian, but maybe not quite the pace to catch up to Seb. Prince, so I'm going to get that wrong the entire race, you watch me. But
Well, it does say Seb.
It does say Seb, and I'm just reading from the board. So good pace from those two. That'll be, even if they finish 4th and 5th, that is great points for Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship. So they'll likely be happy with that regardless of who's in front of who, I think.
They'd be stoked, honestly, to have two of your whole team in the top 5 is just remarkable for Tier 1. So I think Verk would be very happy, and he is closing on Tomo. Of course, we saw him down that front straight a few laps ago, or probably about 6 laps ago, overtaking, I think it was Jacko and Tyler he was in the mix with, and looked like he was going to get a double overtake there, and very, very fast in a straight line. Nick Thompson looks like he has the speed in the corners, and that's why Verk... What do you see?
Oh, mate, sorry to get you off here. Tyler, Jacko, Brian Bromley Brian Bromley's now in the mix.
Brian just got swallowed up by 2, did he?
He did. That has just been unfortunate. I think he might have actually been the DRS train leader. It was an Aston Martin boat, as we have a caution in Sector 1. That is a McLaren. That is a McLaren of T... Is that a McLaren of T8? Has had a moment coming through turn 2 and 3.
Sorry.
Gillard?
Yeah, sorry, Gillard just got the jump on Brian Bromley.
Oh, Brian Bromley. Inside. Oh, he's lost 3 spots.
He's gone wide now, Gillard, out of turn 10, but he got on the inside of turn 8 on Brian Bromley, who looked a little bit squiggly through 7 and 8. Sorry, through 6 and 7. And then in turn 8, Gillard got up on the inside. So Brian's gone from P6 to P9 in about half a lap there, unfortunately.
Oh, that is so unfortunate. He is a very rapid driver in himself, and of course his teammate with Prince up in P3. He's going to try and finish as Brian Bromley in the top 10 just to get those points. But this is the first race of the season, so let's not try and count our chickens before they turn into horses. So
now, Crispy's right behind Brian, and those two have elevated from Tier 2 last season. And Brian looks like he's going to box. He's not going to wait for Crispy to get him. And he's pulled the pin there. So Brian's going to go to hards until the end. You'd imagine Karama, the team principal for Alfa Romeo, has picked up a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately, there. So let's have a look. Matty AU, P10 in the McLaren. Yep, Brian getting on those fresh meds. All right, so the action...
The action's still with Jacko and Tyler.
Yeah.
It really
Tyler
is. They are switching places. They're just switching places like a bloody mechanic switches spanners. It's just all over the shop. And one of them's got to give. Surely the pressure's got to get to them. I mean, this is Tier 1, so in theory it shouldn't, but the pressure's got to get to one of them, and it's just going to let Gillard, Crispy, not Matty, just Gillard and Crispy, they're going to have a sniff.
Oh, Daddy Darkness and Karama fighting out of turn 4. Karama just got a little bit of squiggly when Darkness went up on the inside and got the move done, just on the fresher tyres, 3-lap old. Oh, that was a bit of a...
That was a glitch, eh? It was.
Yeah,
it was a bit weird.
Was.
I thought he was leaving the door open for Karama.
For a second. Yeah.
I could almost taste that glitch.
Yeah, you almost swallowed it.
Gagged on it, one might say.
Gag on a glitch. I'm on board with Crispy right now. Look at Crispy in P9. He's up. Is he going to make a move on Tyler in the 13 or 14?
He's going to wait.
He's going to wait.
He's going to wait. Crispy, I reckon he's got the straight line speed. Could he even get a double overtake? Beautiful exit from Crispy, but not as good as Tyler. And it is box. Ooh, no, it is a dummy. That is a dummy from Tyler. So
Tyler's at the dummy.
Gillard's going to go for the undercut, I imagine, onto the hards. The undercut's quite powerful around here. Now, we did see Tier 3. I can't remember who that was, but he ran to lap 14 on the meds, and it was just 1 or 2 laps too long, and he just could not quite piece it back. So I think now is the time.
Mate, just get on board with Crispy for a minute. Crispy is as smooth as a piece of KFC chicken, let me tell you. He is absolutely, when you take the...
when you take the skin off.
Yeah, when you take the skin off, that's right.
Sounds kind of erotic, doesn't it? Undress a piece of chicken.
Yeah, and then lick all the juices, no doubt about it. Crispy.
Tastes like chicken, keep on licking.
You better believe it. Finger licking good, Marty, that's what they say.
A bit of a loose end there from Tyler, and Crispy's going to just try and have a sniff of the gearbox, have a sniff of the fumes coming out of that gearbox, and I reckon he's going to love it. He's going to be... Oh, he's not even going to have a look. Jacko
up in a P6. He's put a second on Tyler, so Jacko's
really
putting the pit between
hard.
his teeth. Yeah, he is. You don't want to see him go off because his teammate Scotty's in P15, so Scotty will really be counting on Jacko to pull some of these points home in the top 10. We're about
halfway through the race at the moment, Marty B, and I reckon Tyler might be boxing here with Jacko getting away. What do you reckon?
Just actually, Riley's in. That is the right option. That is the right answer. Riley and KLX are both in. Let me tell you, going a bit longer, I think that's the answer. Verk is going long, so is Prince. Now, I did say at the start of the race, Broseph, that Prince was very, very good at saving his tyres, but I don't think he can save them that well. 15 laps on mids, that's a long way, unless he does a magical magician stint like you did. If he can do that, then fantastic, but there just won't be that much pace in them, as most of the field now is on the hards. I think the hards are the tyre from here on out.
I agree. And, of course, if you look at Rip the Beans and Scotty down in P14 and 15 respectively, those two were caught up in the early incident in lap 1 and they boxed. And I'm pretty sure they'll be able to bring those hards all the way home. You know, I don't think boxing again will help their cause in terms of bringing home points. Of course, points go all the way down to P15 at the moment, and those two are sitting right on the cusp of points. So if they can just keep those hards working to the very end, I think they'll stick there with those points.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've got Matty AU and the lower one's a lap down. Are they a lap down? Hang on, no, sorry, not a lap down. I'm looking at tyres. I'm on the wrong screen. On the fresher tyres. So it depends how much time you can really make up on a fresh set of mids. That 13 laps, what's that? That's 29. That's a long way on hards. As we do see Prince does come in. But as the undercut, let's just have a look at Riley. In the Alpha.
Yeah, he's just going past
he is just coming down the pit lane. Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what he wants. He's going to be miles in front.
On Verk and Tomo, because they were pretty much the same. Tomo's just coming around turn 15, and Verk's coming out of the pits at the moment. I believe Tomo was still in front.
Yeah, hey, Tomo's going to get out in front of Verk, is he?
He is. Yep.
He is. So that's perfect. That's correct.
Oh, wow. Look at these two. They're just working brilliantly. They're going to get the DRS. They're going to get everything they need just to keep these two running at max volume for the next stint of this race. So well done to those guys.
Yeah, look, they are just as slick as a stripper named Mercedes, I reckon. They are perfectly running the strategy. And P4, P5, they don't need to push. They don't need to push harder, I don't think. A P4, P5 for Mercedes is just a fantastic start to the season.
Let's hope she's got a bit better fumes coming off the rear end of that Mercedes. Let's hope.
I mean, we don't judge whatever you're into.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so we'll just go over the top 5. Of course, we've got Riley McKay in P1 in the AlphaTauri, who's reserving tonight. Outstanding job from Riley tonight. KLX in the Williams in P2 is about 3.5 seconds behind Riley. They both boxed. Prince is in P3 in the Aston Martin, is about 5.5 seconds behind KLX. And then you've got the two Mercedes who have both just boxed as well, and they're all running the hards. Vic Thompson's in P4, about 4.5 seconds behind Prince in P3, and Verk, his teammate in the other Mercedes, is about 1.5 to 2 seconds behind Tomo in P5. And we've got Daddy Darkness, who's already done 6 laps on those hards, so he boxed a little bit early. But it looks like that strategy might be paying off for Darkness. As I said, I think those hards can go a bit longer than most guys think. I'm on board with Brian Bromley at the moment, who's done 4 laps on those hards, and it looks like he might be... Oh, he's definitely going to fake a move to Daddy. He probably won't pull one off here, but Brian's definitely... He's going to make...
Oh, he takes a dive.
That was nice.
On the power. Oh, a little bit late on the power there for Brian, but he's not going to... Yeah, he is going to get the DRS, but yeah, a little bit late there, a little bit tentative. A little bit sketchy. He was just trying to avoid that oversteer coming out of 3, which we've all had. Right. Goes a little bit deep there too. Maybe those tyres aren't quite coming up to pressure. Up to temperature. He could be running possibly lower temperature, lower pressures. God, I'm getting my words all around the wrong way. I'm getting too excited, Broseph. Too excited.
That's all right, mate. It's round 1. Why wouldn't you be excited? Into the Racing League, Tier 1. This is where it all happens, mate. So gather yourself and let's get back after it.
All right, let's just take ourselves a deep breath, woosah, and onwards and upwards. There's a bit of a DRS train now. There's a 2-car train behind Daddy Darkness. Brian Bromley, I reckon, is probably going to take him if he can. What else can you see?
Shout out to Brian Bromley. I got to say, Tier 2 driver last season. Of course, we battled with Brian every race pretty much. He was in the mix with us in Tier 2. More often than not, finishing ahead of us. But he's doing outstanding to be in top 7 in Tier 1 at the moment. Pretty much all race long. hasn't really put a foot wrong either. And, outstanding job. Well done.
Yeah, T8 units actually just had a bit of an incident around about turn 8, coming out of 7, I think. I'm not sure if there's any damage on that McLaren, but he's going awfully slow. Not a great race for poor old T8 unit, so hopefully he can complete the race and maybe get some points if he can. So just go to the position changes, I think. Broseph, Nick Thompson up 2, Verk 6. Daddy Darkness up 3. The biggest mover at the moment is actually Gillard up 11. Shout out to Gillard in the Haas. That is fantastic. Jaco up 10. Crispy up 5.
Maddie,
what can you see?
I think it's Scotty and Karama. Yep, side by side at the moment, going down the front straight.
Yep, the old TP there, making the move, showing the team how it's done. As that Daddy Darkness just gets done by Jaco. Jaco's got to get past Brian Brumley. He's just got to get on and up the road. He really does, because these guys are battling. Still looking at almost 3 wide. 3 wide
Tyler
through 8.
And Darkness and Gillard. This is where it's all happening. I'm on board with Tyler at the moment as they're going into 10.
He almost swiped the nose off that Ferrari.
He did.
Oh, man, I bet he had to pull his lips in. He did.
Gillard doesn't die wondering, does he? There's no doubt about that.
Nah, man. He just doesn't.
I remember during the preseason, Gillard sent it on me on the outside going into Graveyard, and it didn't end well for either of us.
Good old Graveyard. That thing's taken more lives than Hitler, I think. It's just an unfortunate part of the racetrack. But anyway, so Jaco, he's really got to get past here. Surely he's going to get past on this DRS zone. Oh, yeah, what a bit of a look for some reason. No, he's just cooling his tyres.
Daddy Darkness had a moment. Just going through, I think it was 11 and 12. Yeah, and had to let a few of those guys go through there. So that's unfortunate for him, but he's still in the mix. He's not far off the back of those cars. So I imagine with all these guys battling in front of him, he'll better catch up. And it looks like Jacko's got the move on Brian as I head into turn 1, Marty.
Brian's flashing also, so he is below 10%. I reckon he's used all of that to defend, which is unfortunate for the start of a DRS train. That's what you tend to do. You use all of your battery trying to keep all the cars behind you, and really you should just let one past and just sit in their DRS and let them use their battery. A lot of guys get a little bit ahead of themselves, and that's just what they tend to do. We've all been there, and it's not a nice place to be. But that's where the battle is at the moment. It is the DRS train behind Jacko now. And then a bit further down, spreading themselves out behind Ice Iron Rhino, Daddy Darkness, Aussie, Rip, Matty. They're all a bit further down the field, just running their own little race.
Tyler goes wide out of turn 8. I think he just had a bit of a snap. Gillard, he's driving like a man possessed. If you get on board with the Haas driver at the moment, he really is getting everything out of that car. I think it was a pretty good job from Gordo drafting him in Tier 1 because... He just... and Riley's picked up a 3-second penalty. Oh, geez, that might come back to hurt him if KLX will be absolutely licking his lips right now. If he can close to 1.5 seconds, he's going to get the race win.
If there's a safety car in the next few laps, that is going to be good night nurse for Riley, I think.
It will.
Because he won't be able to get... unless he's super rapid.
Crispy looks like he's the closest driver at the moment, looking to get a move done. Out of 14 and 15...
Oh, I can see a red flashing nightclub up there. Who's that? That must be Gillard.
Crispy's got to get the job done.
He's got to get it. He's not even burning. He's just going to have a look. Oh, he's having a wee bit of a squeeze on the battery. Oh, very, very late on the brakes. Can he get it pulled up? He does.
It was just enough to get in front of Tyler, wasn't it? Just enough to put his car in front. Yeah, so...
Next up is Brian Brumley, who is, like I say, flashing. And that's going to be unfortunate. Of course, less than 10%, these cars start flashing the red light on the back.
Tyler squeezing all the sauce out of the bottle there, out of turn 4, but he's gone dry, and Crispy holds the position in P9, so terrific racing from those two guys. Into turn 8, the big hairpin. This is where you want to get the car straight. Tyler takes a very skinny entry, but pulls that one off very nicely.
He did, actually. That was beautiful.
9 and 10. This is where I got the move done on the outside of A-Dog yesterday. Shout out to you, A-Dog. Danny Dog.
You didn't get bitten. You didn't get bitten by the dog, luckily.
No, the thing was, he saw me coming and he let me go, hoping I was going to go on the outside at 10 and get caught on the curb and ride it like a 50-50. The son of a bitch, but I pulled it off. Crispy right on the back of Brian Bromley. He's 1.5 tenths out of 13. Brian has a bit of a snap.
I'm just going to sit on with Crispy. He's going to wait. He's got to wait. He's going to wait for the detection point. Is he going to have a look down? No, he's not. You can actually have a look there, and as long as you are behind at that detection point, you can then make the move into the turn, and you still will get the DRS. It's a very, very...
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a very, very tricky one. But look at the speed of that Ferrari. Just go. He's going to get double. Tyler's going to get him too.
No, Oof. He holds up. He thinks better of it. And Brian did a little bit of a wheel bang in there.
Tyler gets it.
That's all right. Nice and clean. Well done, Tyler. Well done. Brian, he's doing really well just to hang in there. You see, every now and then he'll be overtaken by 2 or 3 cars in half a lap, but you'll look up again and he'll be back in P7 in no time. So, outstanding job. We've got about, 7.5 laps to go there, Marty. So, coming to the final sector of this race, it's been outstanding so far. We've got Riley out in front. He's got a 5.5 second gap, or just over 5 seconds to KLX, but he's got a 3 second top penalty. Daddy Darkness is out in the Ferrari. That's out of turn 4, I believe.
That is out of turn 4. He's just overcooked it there. That is a DNF. I do not see Burt Mylander. There is no safety car on the track. Those marshals, I'll tell you what, I'm not sure what they're smoking, but they are super, super speedy. They have just gone out and cleared that up like Lego pieces off the lounge floor that your kids left there. It's just been all picked up in a heartbeat. Shout out to the marshals.
It was nothing like the Romain Grosjean fireball we saw from a few years ago, but it looks like, just well off track, maybe into the wall there for Daddy Darkness, so super unlucky there. He was having a great race in the top 10.
Yeah, he was having a fantastic race in the prancing horses. Teammate Crispy up in P8 at the moment. A little bit of a train behind him, but the big train at the moment, where can we see Aussie down in P12? He's got a few cars behind him, but it's not really a train that generally spreading themselves out so far. As far as I can see, Prince 6 seconds behind KLX. That's unusual from Prince. What can you see?
It isn't. Well, just on board with Tyler, he just had to really pull it up coming into turn 1 on the back of Crispy, but did a marvellous job. Really good control there of his car. Will he send it on Crispy? He's going to have a look on the outside. He's going to go for the
switchback, is he? No, he's
just
not.
He's just up, I think.
Yeah. Oh, he's round! Oh, that is the commentator's curse. That's the first one for the whole race, though, so that's okay. We can live with that.
He did well to keep it away from the wall, but he's lost 3 positions there, and it's all right. Yep. He's got a 14-second gap to Aussie 2K Goat, but Tyler, he'll be kicking himself, and of course, Adzi won't be happy with that. He's probably headbutting the desk right now and in rage, but 2 drivers still in the points, both one in the top 10 or one just outside, so hopefully Tyler can just take advantage of maybe a few battles up ahead and get back up there in the mix.
Yeah, Gillard's have a look at the back of Jacko as well at this stage of the race. He just had a pocket full of understeer coming down through 10 and a pocket full of almost oversteer. Look at the rotation on that car.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
That is fantastic. They're going to play DRS chicken here. You watch. Yeah, as Crispy's
yeah,
they are.
They get swallowed. See you later, boys.
See you later, you
play in the playground all you want. I'm going home. See you later.
And Crispy will get the DRS as well.
Marbles.
Oh, no, he won't. Why didn't Crispy get DRS? That was weird. I would have thought he would, but he's going to get swallowed up again. He's going to get swallowed up double. He gets the double penetration. Crispy goes back down to P8. That was...
Cops it twice.
He does cop it twice in the face.
Crispy. He's coming right back on this Haas, out of 3, but of course the Haas is a bit of a rocket ship tonight, Gillard. And Crispy's just going to have to tuck right in behind there. And,
I'll tell you what,
with these 2.
If Crispy had got the DRS there, he would have been away and singing. But unfortunate.
Now, these guys are the biggest movers on track. Jacko's gone up 12 positions, Gillard's gone up 13, and Crispy's gone up 8. So these guys right here, all in a row, are the biggest movers on track, and this is where the biggest battle is happening. So let's just stick with this one, and we'll see what comes of it. But we've got about, 5.5 laps to go, Marty, and these guys are battling for P6 at the moment. And these points at the end of the year, just let me tell you, last season at the end from P4 to about P7 was covered by about 25 points at the end of last season in Tier 1. P4 to P7, just 25 points. So every single point is absolutely vital, and these drivers know it. So one little mistake, and it's going to end your night. Gillard's going to have a look here, but Jacko stays to the inside. Oh, he's really on the gearbox of that Red Bull, and Crispy as well. It's just who gets the better exit, and who's got the faster car down the straight, Marty.
Yeah, speaking of faster cars, I'm just having a look at some more data here. Looks like Prince sitting in P3 at the moment in that Aston Martin. His top speed's only 304 kilometres an hour. He must be running well into the 40s, I reckon, for downforce, which is unlike Prince. Normally he runs a pretty low downforce car and it's a rocket ship, but that might actually be what's hindering his progress in this race.
Oh, Jacko's just timed this to perfection, but I've got to say, Jacko had an outstanding
Crispy.
exit out of 3.
Crispy down the inside. Oh, look at that. 3 wide. Crispy, how does he go for the
Rocket ship
exit?
from
They're going to touch wheels. Crispy's on the inside. There's touching. Crispy gets it done.
Oh, superb, Gillard. Well done.
Fantastic shot from the helicopter.
Top racing from the boys there. Jacko had a great exit out of 3 on that Haas, let me tell you. He really did. I thought he was going to get the move done into 4. No doubt about it, going down that straight into 4. But Gordo's Haas, driven by Gillard, it's got some really good straight line pace. It's, Gillard could be mistaken for Hulkenberg today.
Hulkenberg. Crispy just had a wee bit of a snap coming out of 10, but he managed to pull the car up and get on the power as well. He's burnt a wee bit of battery doing that. But he's going to try really, really hard to get out of that DRS. He's got to get out of the DRS, does Crispy, because Gillard and Jacko, I'll tell you what, they've got the pace, they've got the straight line speed. They're going to fly down the main straight in just 2 corners time and probably take him back, I imagine.
Yeah, Crispy's probably hoping for a bit of a battle behind him, like Jacko.
Yeah, of course.
Yep, up on the inside of Gillard and then battling into turn 1, and Crispy just prances away like the beautiful red horse does.
Yeah, we're just watching that gap. Crispy goes defensive. Gillard's, there's not enough time to have a lunge, but he has a bit of a look. Crispy goes a bit deep. Gillard just tries to get up the inside, but I'll tell you what, it's not going to work. That prancing horse stays firm on the track, like his feet are glued to the ground. He goes instantly defensive in the DRS zone, coming down towards turn 4. This is fantastic racing with Gillard, Crispy and Jacko, P6, 7 and 8. They are almost too wide, all on the hard tyre.
I'll give you an insight. Just Crispy's setup when he exits out of the corners onto the curbs. He really has a really good balance in the car there. And I think that's what's just edging him over these other drivers behind him currently. And Riley picks up another 3-second time penalty. That's KLX's win at the moment. So if he can stay within that 6-second gap, KLX is going to win this race. And Riley, the reserve, has just thrown it in the bin.
Yeah, that means he's done 6 track limit violations, because you get 2 warnings and a penalty, then 2 more than a penalty, and so on and so forth. And I think it's about 15 or 16 seconds worth of penalties you actually get disqualified from the race. So he's nowhere near that yet, but if you keep going, that's what happens. Yeah, KLX.
So, Battlecat, he said, Marty, don't do it. Did you not learn anything on Friday night? So it was obviously the commentator's curse that we had earlier, unfortunately, on Tyler.
Yeah. I did say it's the first one, and we got to at least lap 20-something before it happened. Gillard's going to have a look down the inside of Crispy. That's an easy-peasy one. And is it going to be the Jacko's going to have a look as well?
Jacko sends it. He thought about it.
He sent it. That puts Crispy up on the inside for turn number 2. Yeah, Crispy's going to hang on to that, I reckon. Oh, no, he's not.
Great racing, boys. Great racing. Crispy's still got his wheel on the inside, and he does send it on the outside of Jacko.
Crispy sent that, but he's going to go for the switchback. No, he's not. He's just going to let him go. There's still 4 or 5 laps to go, including this one. So it could actually be all to play for here for P6, 7 and 8. This seems to be where the battle is at the moment. Everyone else, apart from Matty AU and Aussie 2K, who are on the back of the Karama train. The Karama train, big snap from Karama as well, as we mention his name. We better be careful of that commentator's curse. Let's just try not to upset any team principals in the meantime. So we'll just move away from that battle. Shout out to you, Karama. Hopefully we don't upset you, mate, on those mids.
So Karama, he's in the points at the moment. His teammate Silderfort, another time penalty there. So unfortunate race for Silderfort. Just didn't go his way. We've got Scotty in the Red Bull sitting in P15, so he's going to pick up the final point, but Rip the Beans is right behind him. So they're going to be fighting right down to the end for this final point. Rip the Beans is on the back of him. Let's just have a look at the tyres here. Let's have a look who's going to have the advantage. It looks like Rip the Beans is on 2-lap-old softs.
Yeah,
Scotty's
he's going to get
6-lap-old mediums. So those mediums...
Oh, snap there from Scotty. Yeah, Rip's going to get him here.
Rip, look at that speed. He says, see you later. But Scotty... I mean, those softs are just in great condition, aren't they, for the last couple of laps of this race, Marty?
Yeah, they're going to be absolutely banging. They'll be up to temperature very, very quickly around here. Of course, running basically minimum.
Karama just picked up a 5-second penalty speeding in pit lane. What is he doing?
Why is he boxing? Let's have a look. Is there a wing change?
He's putting on softs. He thinks.
Oh, it's because he's got Rip. It's because he's got Rip behind him. more than 20 seconds. So he's going to be able to get out and try and get that fastest lap point as well in P14. So he will still get the point, I believe. Is that correct? Or does it have to be top 10? No, correct. Yep, down to P.
Here comes Rip. They're right on the back of Karama. Look, Karama
Plenty
dropped
of
a couple of positions to box here. He was in P12,
Did
I believe. Yeah, he was.
Ah.
P12. So he needs to get all the way back up to Aussie and get the fastest lap to make this work. Otherwise, that's a big risk he's taken there. Let's hope he can stay in front of Rip to pull this one off.
Yeah, okay. That is a bit of a strange strategy. I didn't realise he dropped 2 positions. I was still looking at the battle between 6, 7, and 8 when that was going on. So, okay. I mean, first race of the season, you got to try and pull something out of the bag when you're that far behind. But
he's pulled a baguette out of the bag. That's what he's done.
A baguette full of croissants. Yeah.
So it looks like Gillard's got a little bit of a gap now on Jacko. He's closing that gap down these back straight. He won't have enough to have a look, I don't think. He's going to wait to the final lap to get this done. And Crispy about 6.5 tenths behind, just looking to close on these two and hopefully see those two come unstuck and do the old, what was that guy on the McGee or Stephen McGee or something like that on the skates going through when all the guys fell over in the Olympics. You're New Zealander, you won't get it, but the Aussies know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Wayne Morris has got the gif. He knows what I'm talking about.
Hey, just going back to Karama, I know why he's done that. It's because he's got 8 seconds worth of penalties. I reckon it's because it doesn't actually matter. But 8 seconds, but then he would have...
No, he got the 5-second penalty when he went into box. He got it
of course he did. Sorry, that's true.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm just trying to work that out. Yeah, okay, you're right. Okay, well then, doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he's not gonna catch. Yeah,
it's just not.
Matty.
But we are on the final lap now, as Riley comes down the main straight. So what a fantastic race from. I'll tell you what. Hey, Riley's got out of 6 seconds as well. He is 6 seconds ahead of KLX. That car is absolutely on rails for Riley. So if he can just keep that up, he will still take the win. Verk and Tomo still sitting in P4, P5. Fantastic race from those blokes. They're just sitting there just gently. They've just been picking away. They're not causing anybody any problems. They're just doing their thing, getting their points. They're just going to pack up, have a couple of beersies after the race, go home and chill out in front of the fire, I reckon. It's just, that's all she wrote for those guys. Fantastic. What's Gillard? Gillard has a look. Jaco has a look on Gillard. No, other way around. Gosh, they're switching and mixing and matching. It is Gillard having a look on Jaco. Down into turn number 4 he goes. With the DRS, they're both going to be flashing up a storm almost. They are so gentle on that throttle. What can you see a bit further down? Aussie and Maddie. And Maddie coming through turn 2.
I think Gillard has just gone in the back of Jacko. This is where the race is. Crispy's just having a look at this, like really just eating the popcorn like Michael Jackson in the movie theatre at the moment, just waiting for this to go down on the final lap. Riley McKay.
And as Riley McKay comes around the final corner, it doesn't bar rain, it bar pause for this bloke. And across the line he goes. He is 7.8. That will secure the win for Riley. KLX will come across in P2. Prince under Seb will come across in P3. Not a bad showing from him. I'm sure he's going to up that game further into the season. But P4 and P5, shout out to these two blokes. Fantastic. They've just gotten on with it. Head down, pants up, shoes tied up correctly. And that's going to be it. That's going to be all she wrote.
Verk lets his number 1 driver in Tier 1, Tomo, take P4. So those two, outstanding.
Gillard's going to have a look down the outside of Jaco. He's going to get him. He's going to get him down into the line. He's going to get him.
15. Jaco! He gets him. In a P7. So Gillard, what a finish. Outstanding from those two. The past, was it 8 laps? Just side by side, back and forth, fighting over DRS. Crispy up on the inside. All the way to the end. Gillard gets the job done. Jacko, great racing today. Brian Bromley comes across in P9. Ice Iron Rhino, P10 in the Alpine with Tyler in P11. Aussie 2K Goat, the TP for Williams in P12. Matty AU, 16 laps on those hards in P13. So he'll be happy with some points today in the McLaren. That's the highest finish for McLaren there today. Karama absolutely gets done by Rip the Beans. So Rip up into P14 and Karama, the team principal for Alfa Romeo, will get the final point in P15. So That was a pretty interesting race. There was a bit of a gap out by the leaders out in front, Marty, but overall, you've got to say, that was pretty enjoyable for round one.
That was a fantastic race for round one, as we are going to watch the podium presentation here for the stream, for the highlights reel further down the track. But that is Tier 1. That's all she wrote. Broseph, that's all she wrote for Tier 1, Round 1, Season 5 at Inters. And it's just another one for the history books, really. Some fantastic racing out there. So proud of Mercedes. They did a banger of a job. KLX, he ran a good race. Unfortunately, couldn't get under that 6-second mark for Riley, but hey, it is what it is. A fantastic battle. I think we watched most of the race for P6, 7, and 8 with Crispy Gillard and Tyler. No, Crispy Gillard. Who was the other one in that battle? Was Tyler, wasn't it?
Crispy Gillard and Jacko.
And Jacko, sorry, Jacko. That was a fantastic race. Now, I'm just going to go through these results here real quick.
Yep. I'm going to get the boys into the chat.
Man, what an exciting way to start the season. Only not many penalties across the board, only a handful. So let's just see if we can bring those up. It was just Riley with the 6-second. Further down the pack, it was Karama and Silderfort. Silderfort, an unfortunate race from that bloke in the Alfa Romeo. One lap down, times 4 penalties, 12 seconds. I think he may have been just one penalty away from being disqualified from the race, but I'm sure he'll pick his head up and do a lot better next week. Karama with 8 seconds, just that speeding in the pit lane towards the end there when he jumped onto the soft. I'm sure he'll learn from that.
No worries. So we've just had word KLX won't be joining today in the comms box. That's all right. He's got to be somewhere. All right, we'll see if we can get Riley in or Prince. Okay, but we'll just go over the results while we're waiting for some of these guys. So qualifying, Marty. Let's have a look. So we had oh no, that's not the right one there. All right, so we had obviously Riley McKay in the AlphaTauri. A 27.9, which was just outstanding lap. 0.6 quicker than KLX in P2 in the Williams. And then Prince, of course. If you could just give me about 30 seconds, Marty.
Oh, I can do that. Prince was actually 7/10 behind KLX in quali. Not bad from that bloke. Tomo actually in the Mercedes qualified P9, and Verk actually qualified P11, according to my stats here. I didn't grab a picture of the end, but...
yeah, you're right.
Yep. That's what my data on this amazing app is telling me. Verk P11. Number 48 on the Verk Mercedes car. Number 12, unfortunately, doesn't have a name on my screen, but Aston Martin, Brian Bromley in 13. And so forth down the road they go. Did we just get somebody to join the comms box? Who was that?
Yeah, Marty, we've got P3 in here, so we've got Prince, and we've got the race winner Riley in here as well. So you kick it off with Prince. It's your number one interviewer, so take it away, Marty.
Prince, mate.
Hello.
What happened? That's not the usual showing. Not the usual showing we get from you, my friend.
Oh, mate, look, I'm pretty pleased, to be honest. Look, I didn't drive great. I'm not very happy with that, but it's been a big weekend. I'm not much sleep. I'm hungover. I'm in Melbourne. I'm on Seb's rig. We did all right. We brought it home.
You're not even on your own rig.
No, I got on my old kit, which was, didn't have a little time to get used to it. So, we did all right. We brought it home. Riley's just cooking. It was a pleasure to have him. Like race against him tonight, and KLX, the usual championship challenger, up there as well. So yeah, cool.
Yeah, look, do you think you're going to be battling KLX further into the future? When do you go back to your normal rig? Next week?
Oh no, we'll be back next week. Yeah. This is just for the weekend. No, absolutely. KLX is up in Ultra Tier 1 now, and we're going to be racing heaps.
And of course, going back to back the last couple of seasons, do you think it's going to be back to back? Is that what you're sort of aiming for, or do you think there might be some more stiff competition out there?
Oh, Oh, we'll see how we go. Yeah, we'll just keep driving. See what happens.
Look, my money's on Prince. I think he won by over 100 points last season to KLX. So race 1, P3, hungover in Melbourne, not on his own rig. You'd have to take that. And so if Prince can just get himself in a better position for the next couple of races, you'd have to say you'd probably be favourite to be ahead after race 5 or something like that. So
yeah, well, thank you. Thanks for your faith.
mate,
It's a new game.
You've put it on demonstration like again and again and again. So I've got heaps of faith in you, mate. So it was a good race out there from you today. All things considered. So yeah, well done, Prince.
Yeah. Cheers, boys. Up season 5 Inters. Let's go.
Let's go.
Sweet. All right, so we'll move on to the race winner. Of course, reserving today, Riley McKay. Mate, that was a hell of a qualifying time. How did you manage to pull that off?
That was there was pole by like 7 times, but the lap itself was quite scruffy towards the second half. It could have been a 0.7, but it's still pole, so it doesn't really matter. I wasn't going to go back out because I was going to go like soft start, get away from the guys behind, but I opted to go medium instead and just go second run just in case.
Okay, yeah, you seem to have it all in your hands today. I mean, you even racked up 6 seconds worth of penalties, and you still managed to finish quite comfortably in front of KLX. So, what do you reckon, man? Do you reckon F123 is just suiting your driving style a bit more?
Yeah, for sure. I'm much quicker this game. Guys like Prince also helped me get quicker. We do a lot of practice together and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it just really does suit me this game.
So this season, yeah, you're pushing the likes of the guys that, as you said, finished in the top, 5 last season, and you finished 5th last season over also Prince and KLX. You're really pushing their speed this season. So, yeah, well done, Riley. That's a great win to be reserving for AlphaTauri. I know Staines, the team principal, is absolutely he's through the roof at the moment, as Marty said last night on his interview. So yeah, he's absolutely stoked. Great performance out there today, mate. Hopefully we'll see you again put on another absolute demonstration like that today. Congratulations on the race win, and we'll hope to see you soon.
Thanks, boys. Catch ya.
He's a pretty humble, quiet bloke, isn't he?
I think that group, they're all pretty humble and quiet, aren't they? All those boys.
Yeah. Just quietly getting on with it, sitting on pole and then winning the race. Just quiet, just cash. I'd pay money to do that.
Oh, mate, if only we were that good, we could just sit back and smoke them all, and that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yep.
All right, Marty. Well, that's pretty much going to bring us to the end of round 1 for Tier 1 at Inters Racing League. A bit of a surprise there with Prince in P3, but under the circumstances, as he said, really happy with that, with those points. I think Aston Martin's team principal, Gritto, will be happy to see Prince in the top 3, considering all of that. KLX, we missed him tonight in the comms box room, but pretty standard from KLX. P2 seems to rack those up again and again. And Riley, as Prince said, is cooking on F123, and mate, you can definitely see that. He absolutely blitzed that air in quali and in the race. Had a really strong race, even though the 6 seconds, he still dominated out there. So interesting to see what these reserves can do for the drivers that don't make it into Tier 1 in the following races.
Absolutely. That's pretty much it for season 5, round 1. Tier 1, final words of advice there, Broseph. Anything?
Final words of advice.
Wise man like yourself?
Just neck up your Pelicans. That.
I couldn't have said it better myself. All right, we might as well tie this one up then. All right. So as ever, I have been Marty B, and I've been with my best mate Broseph up here in Sky Race Control for Season 5, Round 1, Tier 1, Inters Racing League, here under the lights in Bahrain, an action-packed race, and there is 19 more of these to come. So as ever, we will see you in 7 days on Sunday. Peace.
Peace.